grind. Hey, when you speak your mind, hey, you speak your mind. Shit, shout out, speak your mind. Hey, on your grind. Wait, when you speak your mind.
We back.
What's going down?
Speaking Mind 2.0. It's your boy Ty.
It's your boy Seth.
And real quick, please keep running them numbers up on our podcast that we just uploaded not too long ago, and on our Kendrick Lamar reaction video too, because those numbers are still going up slowly, but steadily though. So y'all know what to do. Run it up.
Always, we're keeping up with the grind. More videos on the way, more podcasts on the way. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
All that good shit.
Let's get into. First we about talk about Cam Newton. Give a little backstory on this. The pivot.
Great podcast with Ryan Clark, Fred Taylor, and Channing. What's his last name?
I always want to say Channing Frye, but
I do too. But that's not it.
It's not it.
It's not it. That is not it. But if you know, you know.
But yeah, they interviewed Cam Newton not today, but interviewed him over the course of time, and his interview was very, very good. I finished it just not too long ago.
Same here.
And he had some good points.
He hit on a lot of key points in this podcast today, but right now we just gonna highlight a specific topic that I think it goes without being unsaid, because it's facts. Because if you follow Cam Newton since he's been playing football, you've seen the rise of him, and then you also see the decline of him.
There you go.
And it's kind of messed up too, but he low-key describes that in this part of the podcast that we about to get into. So like we just said, like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into it.
Even the media people want to speak on who's the top 5, right? Who's the top 10? Everybody does love top 5 lists. I changed the narrative and say, so I'm going to ask you, who's the bottom 32? The bottom 32. So go from 32 up. Hello. It will be the
I keep forgetting from Atlanta too.
No. It will be the Mac Jones. It'll be the Tuas. It'll be those young guys that are 10 years younger than you. The real talk. It'll be the
pause. So I kind of want to get away from that, because I don't even think those are like the tiers that he's about to allude to. Because Tua,
Mac
Jones. Who else am I about to think? That draft class that he's about to get into, those aren't even in this correlation in my opinion. So
that are trying to prove themselves, that are 10 years younger than you, that are working their way up, so that their ceiling is higher than what 33-year-old Cam Newton's ceiling is. Mac Jones is the 32nd best quarterback in the NFL?
No.
And we gonna end on right there, because like I said, they broke this down a lot more, but we just gonna cover our own, topic on this. So, like you just said, you can name your top 5, but that is a great question to ask people. Can you name me the bottom 32? Because I don't think you can have a response for that.
Yeah.
Honestly, because that puts people in like, ooh.
Who's really? Can we really think of anybody better than Cam Newton right now? Because in my opinion, I feel like we could still see him on a team.
He can be on a team, but he alluded to this in this podcast. He was in 2 messed up situations with the Patriots and Carolina. Because think about it, Belichick and Brady built that team when they both got into the league. Well, when Brady got into the league, I should say. I don't think Belichick was the head coach at the time, right? When Brady got in the league,
he was there. He was there,
but he wasn't the head coach.
No, he was always the head coach of the Patriots. He was more defense before he got to New England.
Oh, okay, but
so he was like a defensive coordinator.
But again, like Belichick and Brady, they built that organization to what it is now, and that's how you guys 6 rings out of it. Now, granted, 2 of them we can say he cheated, but we ain't talk about that right now. But it was easy for Brady to, adjust with the time of the game, but at the same time, too, they stuck with what they knew offensively.
Right.
Brady leaves 2019, goes to the Buccaneers 2020. Now you're without a QB. Who's left at the time? Hey, Cam Newton. Mm-hmm. Now, me personally, I feel like, hey, this little kid is a great pickup for him, because now he can learn from Belichick and the coaches around him to learn his offense that can...
Right, he can build up on his skill set already and get actual better tools, because when he was at Carolina,
At the time.
Yeah, at the time. He was already the face. He was the guy, but he never was put in that position at that high of level, I guess, in my opinion. Because, I mean, granted, coming from Auburn, yeah, you're on top of the world, win a national championship, all that good stuff. But getting thrown into like an NFL scenario, that's a different level. That's a different speed. And, you know, I definitely felt like the coaching staff was not catered to Cam. The offense was, but there was just no team built for him to succeed, in my opinion. And then we get to New England.
And I'm about to get onto that too. So you got to think, 2020 happened, COVID messed up everything, sports included. So when that happened and they was allowing, you know, sports to still play in 2020, you got to think, Cam caught COVID in the midst of him going to New England. Mm-hmm. So we already knew time was going to be missed when players caught COVID because they weren't really vaccinated at the time, you know, and coaches too. So you were going to already miss time trying to, you know, get acclimated with the system, the coaching staff, everything as a whole.
Right.
But when he finally got there, he was just thrown into the fire. And again, he said it in his podcast too. He said that he kept, every time they would call a play, he would think about, okay, the cadence, how to say it. Mm-hmm. He was thinking about all of that.
He was still learning. He was learning on the fly, basically.
Literally learning on the fly. But then when you built up the resume like he had, or the imagery that we seen, Super Cam.
Yeah.
He was a Super Cam in this moment, and it's like you can't really blame him for that because again, it's a new system, it's a messed up season, and he really never got acclimated with that organization.
And on top of that, he was alluding into this interview. He was talking about impact. His impact was already greater due to what he had done previously. So trying to come into the New England situation
and keep that same impact.
And keep that same impact. It was hard. And on top of that, you know, he was already declining. He didn't already have the best couple seasons prior to that before coming to New England because he got cut and he was bouncing around from team to team a little bit. So, you know, it was still a lot going on. So he was still feeding off all that impact, keyword again, and trying to mirror that in New England. It just didn't work out.
And then also too, and I've been saying this too, off camera and on camera at the time, like how they treated Cam once they got Mac Jones. I'm like, so y'all not even gonna give him a chance. Y'all just gonna be like, you know what, toss you to the side. We got our future QB, and it's like, dang, y'all really just couldn't let this former MVP, Super Bowl caliber QB get acclimated with this system?
Right.
Because let him do that. Mm. Oh, New England is fine. It ain't going to be like Tom Brady level, but it will be a Cam Newton level that's actually better structured around him.
Right. They're going to still be in a winning position.
Exactly. But then, so you do that, and then he goes back to Carolina. That was already still in a messed up situation, too, because it's like, okay, it's nostalgia, you know. He got drafted by them. He took them to the Super Bowl. He won the MVP with them. That was nostalgia, but in reality, what can he do with that new system and new environment? You know, literally, he signed it. Like he even said it. He signed the contract on that Thursday where he got signed, and he played Sunday.
Yeah, that's what
a QB's brain can't process 2-3 days of plays that he has to compartmentalize and play on the field. Mm-hmm. He can't do that.
Yeah, that's when he got re-signed by the Panthers again. It was like
it made no sense, but really kind of, you know, seeing him now in this light where he's talking a lot more, giving more game and just, you know, the backstories on everything that has transpired with him.
Cam is very intellectual.
Exactly. And you just kind of really had to sit back and like, was he really taken for granted?
Mm-hmm. And I want to raise this question too. I feel like Cam Newton, Colin Kaepernick. Granted, we're about to see Cap get. I don't really know the situation all the way, but I know.
I feel like he's gonna get it. He's gonna go with the Raiders. I feel like they're gonna.
They're giving him a tryout, so we're gonna see what happens with that. But two polarizing
athletes,
black males, fighting for two. I mean, I wouldn't.
Not different, but like
it's like contextually the same thing almost.
Just they have their own.
Yeah, lanes. Their own lanes. But it's like we're seeing both of them at the same time. It's just like, bro, what happened? It's like
why don't NFL teams want to take a chance on players like them?
Because I think they're scared of the impact.
But
Well, I don't want to say the backlash, but yeah.
you can say the backlash too. But again, it's just more so the fact, like, wouldn't you want someone in the league that they're in to step up and say something on what's going on in the real world? Because granted, yes, football is separate, but it's like at the same time you can't really separate sports and real life stuff. Because if you're doing that, you just just saying, nah, forget that. We can't worry about that. But you can, because the league is predominantly black.
Right.
So you have players that look like people that are getting killed out here. It's affecting them. And as a coach and as an owner, you should want to not sympathize with it, but it's more so of the fact, like, it's like, as an owner, it's like, I can't relate, but I have players that can. So I want them to use their voice to bring, make an impact on this game too.
Right.
But it's like the NFL doesn't want to do that. They want to keep sticking to their brand that they've been doing for 100+ years.
Protect the shield.
Exactly, but it's like, even still, even within your own shield, you can see it too.
I want to get back to this interview just for a little bit, just so we can get a little bit more context. But basically, that's what me and Ty Joe picked up from this interview.
He's in the top 32. Because the NFL has decided that. The bottom 32. I'm asking, listen to my question. I'm not talking about the top 10 best quarterbacks, the top 20 best quarterbacks, the top 20 to 30, and then you got two guys that's sitting at 32. 32 to 64.
He's saying Houston Texans, Davis Mills, right? He's saying all of these teams on the bottom, before you get Deshaun, Baker Mayfield. He's talking about some of those quarterbacks who we don't necessarily look at as starters and stars.
Like looking at the pendulum. We can all say Aaron Rodgers. We can all say Tom Brady. We can all say Russell Wilson. We can all say Josh Allen. We can all say these different quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes, right. Yeah. That's the front of the 32. Like those are 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Let's do 32, 31, 30, 29,
And that's how
27.
And that's how I feel about Cap. Cap is in that back half, if we're really being honest.
You give him a system that fits his play style, he will thrive.
Who are they?
The league has addressed it that you're not in that.
That's fine.
No. The market sets it,
No.
Cam.
Okay.
No, the market sets it, Cam. If they do not put you in that place, then you have to see that I am.
Every time
not
I see him smoking
in
a
that
cigar, I feel like he's smoking a
and
blunt.
there's 32 teams.
That's the
have said
alternative.
that you're not in the top 32. To answer it, do I think you're better than Mac Jones,
Yes.
Tua, Davis
Yes.
Mills? I would say yes, but I'm a Cam fan. But the league works you out. The league works everything out.
You done making your point?
Yes.
I was with Mac Jones. Mac Jones gonna be a great quarterback. I'll put Mac Jones at that 20-ish threshold. He a young gun, right? And obviously, with the
Justin
guys
Herbert, that was the
they're
other one
going
I
to
meant to
build
think
around
about.
him from the defensive, special teams, offensive side. He's not the guy that I'm talking about. Tua just got some key acquisitions. I'm not talking about Tua. So I'm speaking for me personally, not the league. When we had this conversation, let's say 6 minutes ago on the air, I reiterated that there's not 32 other quarterbacks that's better than me. You said Cam, and I then said I can't wait. So then that's almost you saying that that's a rebuttal. So with that rebuttal, I'm asking you, Channing, list your 32nd,
He said,
31st,
give me the names, goddamn.
30th, 29th, and 28th best quarterback. What?
He said, name them niggas now.
And honestly, just again, like, just overall, you put a player like Cam Newton in a system that fits him, and you have the talent around him that he can thrive in. He is a top 10, top 5 QB without hesitation. Now, people give him flack because I guess his throwing mechanics isn't the best, but
I agree, because they're not that great.
I mean, but just
Athletic.
But let him develop with the QB coach. That's all it is. Like, give me some time to develop, give me time to accustom to the players I'm around, see what they like, what they don't like, what we can come to, middle ground on, and then let's acclimate it to the system. I feel like that's all that is.
True.
But
do you feel like, hold on, before you go, do you feel like we're ever going to see him play again?
I just say no.
I agree too.
But it's like, again, it's like people want to still see Super Cam, but it's like during that time period we did, but it's like now the game has changed.
Right.
And it's like we necessarily can't get Super Cam, but we can still get a Cam Newton-esque of what he was before. Because Super Cam, that was our time, like I can honestly say from 2010 to 2016. So them 6 years of Super Cam being developed was a time was his time.
Right.
But after, they lost in the Super Bowl, it was just kind of like the slow decline, and then
I feel like they kind of quit on Cam after that.
I feel like they did too.
For real, I mean, granted, we all know once you make the Super Bowl, you don't get no type of draft picks at all. But I mean, they could have made some free agent moves. They could have made some trades.
They could have done something to get them back there, but it's like, nah, we gonna keep what we got.
Let him suffer.
We gonna let people leave if their contract is up.
Because that was 2015,
2015, 2016. Yeah.
That year, that line was terrible. He was running for his life the whole time anyway. So they didn't help him even spruce up the front line. So it's like they definitely quit on him, and we see what transpired afterwards. But I will say this: I did not know. He kind of shed light on it. He had Justin Fields, all of them come through his camp.
Bro, you gotta think, when Justin Fields was in high school, they were saying he was gonna be the next Cam, and I can see why. Because again, during those 707s, Fields was balling.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what rose his stock up in the 2018 class. Because before he was a 5-star, he was low on the ratings, and then going to camps, and then that got people talking. Went back to Sauce, and I'm like, okay, 5-star, bet.
We'll let this play for a little bit, but we better wrap it up here soon.
I do not own an NFL team, Cam. So let's be honest, Cam. I do not own an NFL team.
The question is this though:
the NFL has not given you that chance.
What chance?
Why is that? Answer my question.
No,
Why is that?
It's a question for him in this Cam. And talking about the top 32.
Yes, sir.
And saying that you are better than the bottom of the 32. What part of making that decision also goes into, can I have, or is it worth having Cam Newton on my team if he's 28 through 32? Right, well, this is kind of what Freddie was talking about, the perception, the hats, and the dress, and all those things. It's almost as if once you work your way down to that number,
No, I'm not.
is he? No, because you.
Yeah.
Like you said you're unapologetically black.
Of course.
Right. And we got to talk about the position.
Yes,
the
sir.
quarterback position is not for unapologetically black men.
Sad but
who are
true.
elite players.
And I want to. That's later in the conversation, but he made a very, very good point. He talked about how he can go into the Tom Brady community.
Pretty much, he said he can go to a white community,
and they can't come into a black community.
That's
That
facts.
was a bar.
That is facts.
That was a bar when I heard that. Damn.
That is facts.
So I was just like, you know what, this nigga really is.
So we're gonna talk about that after we wrap this up.
Yeah.
Right? So we can have Patrick, we can have Russell, you can have Deshaun, you can have all those guys, and those guys are good to have on your team because they're at the top of it. Right? When everybody talks about the movement of the black quarterback, nah, we ain't getting backups.
Yeah.
Right? We don't get to ride out 15-year careers playing the back end. Like, we have to be the best.
Right.
Do you think that plays a part against you in saying, yeah, 25 through 32, I'm better than them? But it's also, I get all of Cam Newton with that as well.
Of course, and it could be a distraction. And I know that. But my point
too early.
that I was making, and I'm close, this is my last thing, it wasn't about what the NFL was saying. It was more about what you were saying. So you said Cam. That wasn't the NFL saying Cam. The NFL speaks for the real situation that it is. I already know that. But when the tone that you were saying, Cam, come on now. Cam, come on now. Come on. That wasn't the NFL talking. That was you talking. So that's why I asked you the question.
Yes.
What's the other guys that's
Chad, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Is he better than Cam Newton?
Me
Is he
personally,
better
no.
than 2015 Cam Newton?
No, today.
Hey,
Talking about today.
Yes.
Jared Goff.
No.
Very equal.
Daniel
Bro,
Jones.
Hell no.
Bro,
Daniel Jones.
I watched you in New England.
Listen, man.
Watch you in New England. Real
Answer the question.
And this a man question.
We good.
This a man question.
Yes, sir.
Bro, I watched what you did in New England.
Uh-huh.
I watched that first game last year.
Yes, sir.
In 2020 against the Dolphins.
Yes, sir.
Down there. Like I watched the difference in what I saw when you were the dog
Right.
and what I saw you as an older player. And it wasn't that same turnover. It wasn't that same experience.
No, I get
it
that.
wasn't the Cam Newton.
Now I get that, but at the same time, like Ty said, COVID year, he caught COVID, and again, he's still learning.
and
The
this
offense.
is the part of the pod where he was about to go into what I had already alluded to earlier, that he was in two mess up positions with New England and Carolina.
The Michael Vick experience, the video game,
Right.
that was a Cam Newton experience when you watch Cam Newton football.
Like I said too, 2010
it's
to
not the same
2016.
right now. And that's the point I'm trying to get across. That maturation, that push, that change.
Does it have
in
to
your
be the
game.
same though, Channing? Channing, does he have to outplay Cam Newton?
Before I sit up here and finish my, are you done with your list?
You got it, bro.
Okay, this is the facts, all right, and this is why the gift is the curse, right? Because my own worst enemy will always be me, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep it above. I done jumped in some up situations, just keeping it above, right? And this ain't no remorse. This ain't no I want somebody to feel sorry for me. This is me acknowledging that I understand. I own up to jumping up into some tough situations. The New England experience was a tough situation. I was still learning the offense 7 to 8 weeks into the season. That was
In what regards was it messed up?
What QB
Okay.
you know can say that?
I'm learning systems mentally, right? As a quarterback, it's not just can you catch. It's not just can you can disguise that. We all been around teams where it's like ready, break. Hey, what I got?
Right.
As a quarterback, you have to look the part, act the part, and be the part, right? So there was countless hours with Jed Fish. There was countless hours with Josh McDaniels. There was countless hours with so many different people trying to teach me certain things.
all that.
And it was just brain overload. So
Too
there
much.
was times I'm going to the line and I'm still thinking. I'm thinking about the enunciation of the play. I'm thinking about forgetting my motions. I'm thinking about my sight adjust. I'm thinking about certain things. So that's the situation. Did I know it? Yes. To the degree that I needed to know it in order to show the world that I'm still Cam Newton?
No.
No, I didn't. But I put myself in that situation. All right? Now, Carolina,
Learning experiences.
I put myself in another
Situation.
I was signed on Thursday. I played on Sunday. At what point did you think you was going to be successful? That next week I started. That's still up under 10 days of you being on the team.
Right.
And you're...
So, and just, we see how Cam Newton has kind of evolved into this new role. I mean, he's got his own podcast now. He's got his own show, and he's out here doing great things in the community. So,
But it's just kind of sad, like
Yeah.
a player like him can't really. It's like, I'm not saying the NFL is like, blackballing him, but it's like he's not gonna be able to. I don't think he's gonna ever get a chance to play in the league again,
No, I don't think
because
so.
I just feel like what they seen those first 6 years and what they seen lately.
and on top of that, with the kind of like the off the field kind of issues a little bit too, because he's had some scrutiny, but not.
And also too, in this podcast, because we're gonna touch into that and on this part on our podcast too, come next week. But he brought up again what he said about women being quote unquote boss bitches. He brought that up again, and I'm kind of glad that they did, and I'm glad he kind of went back to that and then
Reiterated.
what he said and what also he could have added on to that. But we'll say that for next week.
Yeah.
But it's like again. But it's like at the same time too, you got all these other NFL coaches and owners who get into scrutiny too, but yet their job is in a way somewhat secure.
Right.
A player, it don't matter if you're black or white, any scrutiny, gone.
Up out of there.
But like he said, if an unapologetically black player has any scrutiny around him, oh no, we can't deal with that. And that's sad.
I.e. Colin Kaepernick. I.e. Cam Newton. So.
I.e. in a way, Michael Vick at the time.
Yeah.
But we ain't gonna get into that too, because I can go days with that.
But you know, we just wanted to come in here. You're definitely gonna see us do a lot more of this. You're gonna see us do some more reactions on like Undisputed, all that good stuff. First Take. So be prepared for more videos like this. Like Ty said, podcast on the way next week. Like, comment, share, subscribe. It's your boy Seth.
It's your boy Ty. We gone.
On your grind, hey, when you speak your mind, hey, speak your mind. Shit, shout out, speak your mind.